How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to the course. We're now running through the trading plan section and talking about actually preparing your trading plan, ready to go out into the markets and conquer. So money management is going to be one of the core aspects of your trading plan, and it's going to be one of your core aspects of trading, right? We run this like a business, and we need to be on top of money management at all times. That includes managing our risk and actually managing the amount of capital and working with that capital in terms of revenues and outgoings, right, with wins and losses. So we need to treat this like a business. So without further ado, this video, we are going to talk through the different aspects of money management that you need to consider bringing into your trading plan. So there are 4 key aspects of money management. These are all going to be worked into your plan. We have capital, which refers to the amount of capital you're trading with. Risk tolerance, which refers to your individual risk aversion and ability to actually take on certain amounts of risk. We spoke about this earlier in the course in the risk management section. Individual trade risk, which very much suits the risk tolerance. Okay, it is a lead on from the risk tolerance section, and it's going to talk about how much actual individual risk you are willing to take on each trade. Limits and guidelines are going to be in the core of your trading plan as well. Limits and guidelines refer to the amount of money that you will be able to lose before making a trade cutoff for that session. So if you lose X amount, you will cut off your trading until next week or next month or so on. So let's talk about these different money management aspects then. So capital, starting point. This is the starting point of our entire trading plan. Okay, when you have those manifestations and those motivations outlined, as we spoke about in the previous video, you now want to actually consider capital. So how much money are you actually going to trade with? It's going to form the basis of your risk tolerance and the basis of your risk management plan. And the reason is because you need to know how much capital you're trading with before you can actually decide how risk averse you're going to be. Now, what I mean by this is if you are trading with a small account, $100, £100, you can go ahead and risk 4%. Okay, you may even go ahead and risk more, though I don't recommend it. But you can go ahead and risk 4% without feeling, too stressed out, right? If you lose a trade, you're going to lose £4 or $4, and that's not a whole lot of your account, right? Now, if you're trading 100,000, a 4% loss is going to put you back £4,000 or $4,000. Now, that's going to hurt a little bit more, okay? So decide how much capital you're going to be trading with, and then really we're going to work our risk tolerance and our risk aversion around that. So that is main aspect of capital. That's the main aspect of capital. How much of the capital that you're trading with are you actually going to put at risk? Leading on from that, then we have that risk tolerance, what we just spoke about. How much of your account, how much money are you actually happy to risk per trade, right? If you're trading a 2% risk per trade on a 10%, I mean a $10,000 account, right? You're risking $200 on that trade. Now, if you drop your account down to 5,000, you may still be willing to risk $200 per trade, okay? Which would then bump your risk tolerance up to 4%. On the contrary, you might not want to hold your risk at 2% or 4%, sorry, if we are shifting the account up to a $20,000 account, because then you're going to be risking a lot, right? You're going to be risking $400 per trade. You might want to keep that risk around 200. So decide how much you're actually happy to risk per trade. 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. I never recommend going past 4%. That's when things begin to get a bit hectic and a little bit dangerous. But you need to decide on that how much you are happy to risk per trade, right? Risk tolerance is going to be based on your personal risk aversion and your personal ability to handle loss. Now, your ability to handle loss is going to improve and going to develop and going to grow over time while you're trading, okay? Because we are going to run into losses consistently. We're not going to keep losing money, but a losing trade is part of the process, right? You don't win, 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 win. You win, win, lose, win, win, lose, lose, win. Things like this, right? It's a bit more mumbo jumbo. So decide your risk tolerance, decide how much money, what percentage of your account you are willing to lose on a trade. I never recommend pushing that past 4%. You don't need to, and pushing it past 4% is going to lead to, stress, okay? If you lose a trade and you lose 5% on a trade, that's quite a lot. And then if you lose another 5% on the next trade, that's going to send you into a meltdown mode. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to mess around with your risk rules and ultimately lead yourself into deeper losses. So that risk of tolerance, that risk aversion is going to suit your individual needs, your individual ability to handle risk, and your individual trading capital as well. we always want to look at this risk tolerance in percentage figures, as mentioned. Okay, so you might be happy risking $200 on a $10,000 account, but you should never be risking $200 on a $1,000 account, because that is a surefire way, after a losing streak, to blow your account. So risk tolerance, okay, that is going to be heavily outlined inside the trading plan. Now, leading on from that risk tolerance is the individual trade risk. So this is kind of what we just spoke about. How much are you going to risk per trade? Choose that amount, 1 to 4%, and then decide an amount that is easy to lose regularly. Okay, as we just mentioned, the processes of trading, losses are going to be consistently coming through. You're not just going to consistently lose, but as we've spoken about with the risk reward approach and the risk management approach, we can lose 3 trades and then we can win 1. And if we have good risk reward, we can win all that back. Okay, so you have to accept that losses are part of the process. I'm not saying you're going to lose 3 trades for every winner. No, we won't do that. But we can, right? We can if we follow that risk reward and we follow this individual trade risk. So you have to outline this individual trade risk that you are happy to lose regularly. Now, the reason I stick to 2% myself is because if I'm losing 4% on every trade, that's not going to feel easy. Okay, let's say you are trading $1,000 and you lose a trade at 4%. You've just lost $40. Now, it might not sound too bad, but 3 trades and you are down under $900, right? You're at $880 after 3 trades, or thereabouts. So that then might stress you out a little bit. You might think, wait, I've just turned my $1,000 into 800 and something in 3 trades, and that's going to be stressful, right? And then you might be, messing up your processes trying to bring that back. So you need to decide an amount that's easy to lose regularly. 2% is nice. If I've got a $1,000 account and I lose $20 on that, I'm not too stressed. That seems like a tiny little scraping off the top, and it can easily be won back with the next trade, 1 to 2 or higher risk reward, making me back a nice 40, which then feels like a nice profit. So that is why I think 2% is the sweet spot. It's easy to lose regularly. When a trade comes through and you lose 2%, it's no big deal. But 2% allows you to maximize profits, okay? 1% is easier to lose. But when you win a trade at 1% risk, your profits are small. You can get a 1 to 2 risk reward, you're only making 2%. If you get a 1 to 2 risk reward on a 2% risk account, you're making 4%, right? So your profits are doubled. And because we always control that risk, the profit doubling is, of course, going to go much further than the doubled loss as well. So let's say we hit a loss on a $1,000 account using 1% risk. We are down to 990. We lose that same trade on a $1,000 account using 2% risk. We are down to 980. Okay, that's not too bad. $10 more, so the profit is doubled. But then let's say we win a 1 to 3. Now the 1 to 3 is going to take us up 3%, so we'll be around 2% profit on that 1% risk account. But that 1 to 3 is going to make us 6%, so we're going to be up 4%, right? We're going to be up more, right? Double the amount on this higher one. So basically, as we always aim to stretch out our winners longer than our losers, 2% seems the sweet spot for me. It makes trading worthwhile, whereas 1% kind of feels like it's not. But it also is an easy amount to lose regularly without getting too stressed, without breaking your processes, losing your discipline, and losing your mind. So decide an amount that's easy to lose regularly, set that in stone in your trading plan, because if you start breaking away from this and you start changing your risk per trade, that is when everything goes detrimental, right? Been there, done that. If you start out at 2% risk and you lose a few trades and you decide to up the risk to try and win that back, you're just going to lose more, right? And this is when things start to get out of hand. And let's say one trade you risk 2%, you win that, and you think, right, I'm only going to risk 1 on this new one because I want to hold on to my profits. And then this one wins as well. You only make a tiny little bit of profit. And then let's say you up it again to 2%, you lose, and you've lost your entire previous trade. Okay, so set an amount and stick to it. Individual trade risk is highly important. So consider this amount is going to be lost regularly and accept that. Okay. So the final part of money management then that I'm going to talk about right now, of course, towards the end of this chapter, we will be putting together a trading plan, and I'll show you an example trading plan. Limits and guidelines. So these are cutoff points for your losing trading sessions. Now, whether that be a day, a week, or a month, you need to set these parameters. So if I lose X amount in a week, I'm going to cut off my trading. If I lose X amount in a month, I'll cut off my trading and review my strategy. So let's give some examples. Right, so let's say we put in place some parameters. If I lose 4% in a day, 2 losses. If I lose 2 trades in a day, I'll cut off my trading. Come back tomorrow. If I lose 3 trades in a week, I will cut off my trading, come back next week after a weekend of backtesting, a weekend of retesting my strategy, and building my confidence back up in it. Now, if I lose X amount in a month, let's say if I lose 6 trades in a month, no winners or something like this. Of course, I'm not saying if you lose 6 trades paired with winners, but let's say you lose 10% in a month. You'll cut off your trading and review your strategy. Okay, if you have bad performance over a month like that, where you lose 10% in a month, strategy probably needs a little bit of reworking, right? Over a week, losses are fine, losses are normal. But if you do lose consistently for a month, potentially go and actually backtest your strategy and see if there's any ways that you can refine that and improve that. On the flip side, if you make X amount in a week, month, cut off your trading as well. Now, the reason is, as we spoke about in the psychology section, greed can seep in. Okay, greed can really creep in and cause real issues. So let's say you make 5% in a week. Now, that's some nice profits. You might even want to bump it up to 10% if you're a super aggressive trader. But let's say you reach 5% in a week. There's no reason really to be sitting in the market putting yourself at more risk. It's easy then to just cut off trading and just allow the markets to move, come back next week, than it is to actually give all that profit back and feel like an idiot by the Friday weekend session comes in. So always think cutoff points need to be marked down in your trading plan. Loss cutoffs. So if you lose a certain amount in a week, a day, a month, cut off, review your strategy, have some time to chill and allow the markets to realign. And on the flip side, if you make a lot of money, don't let that greed and cockiness seep in. Cut off your trading at a set profit target and then run the market again next week. Okay, there's no need to go smashing the market time and time again, because eventually you're going to run into a loss. And if you are feeling greedy like this, chances are you might even be susceptible to revenge trading. And if you take a loss, then you might start upping your position sizes to try and make that back. And if that happens, you can easily give away all the profit you've made that week and more. So don't do that. Okay, that is pretty much all for this money management section. Then recapping, we have capital. So how much capital are you going to be trading with? Your risk tolerance based on that capital. How much are you happy to risk? And your individual trade risk as well, both fit into the same section. And then limits and guidelines. How much are you going to risk in a week, a month, any specified time period before you actually cut off your trading, review your strategies, do some back testing, and re-roll, ready to go again on the new session. Okay, so that is all for this video. We're now going to be moving on to talk about the flip side of this, targets and guidelines, where we'll elaborate a bit more on what we said about the cutoff for profits. Hopefully everything's coming together now. We are just starting out here with the trading plan really, but by the end of the chapter, you should have a good idea of what you need to include in your trading plan. There's also going to be a PDF where you can actually print that out and write down your plan. Of course, you might want to make one yourself, but it gives you a general template. So let's dive into the next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you found some value, and I'll see you over there.